Very happy to be here. What we're going to be doing is looking at some of the most common renewable resources, things you may be removing from your gardens as weeds, things that people have been using for food and home remedies for thousands of years. First, I want to tell you a little how I got started with this. I was a tournament chess player. I wanted to become a chess master. I became a very good chess player, but never made master grade. And meanwhile, I needed to feed myself. Slowly, I got more and more involved in cooking, gourmet cooking, and whole foods cooking. Then I discovered wild foods, and it was so much fun foraging for them that I dropped the cooking classes I was then teaching, the catering and the professional cooking, and started leading these tours in 1982. I had a big breakthrough in 1986. This was in March when the first young leaves of the dandelions come up, and they are coming back up now. So this is a good time to use dandelion greens from your garden in salads and cook. The young half-grown leaves are the very best, and they're loaded with nutrients. But back in 1986, the New York City Parks Commissioner, a man by the name of Henry Stern, didn't like that I was teaching people to eat dandelions.
There's this wild man in Central Park. He's a hairy fella in a pith hat, and he's going into Central Park and eating the dandelions. We can't have someone going into Central Park and eating the dandelions. It's like going into the Central Park Zoo and eating a bear cub.
So Henry Stern placed undercover park rangers on my nature tour. It was a man and a woman. They said they were married. They never held hands or kissed or anything else. So I figured they'd been married a long time. The man paid me with marked bills. This was in 1986 when there was a crime wave in New York City, so apparently they had the marked bills available for all the drug dealers that they were afraid to go after. But they paid me with marked bills to lead a nature walk. The man kept taking pictures. I'd hold up the specimens so he could get good shots, only I was the specimen. At the end of the nature tour, I showed people that you could eat the dandelion. This was in March. March and November are the best times. I ate a leaf of the dandelion. The male ranger ducked behind a tree, took out a hidden walkie-talkie. All right, there he is on 81st Street. Go get him. Every park ranger in New York City popped out from behind the bushes. They surrounded me in case I was going to climb up a tree, put me in handcuffs lest I bop them on the head with a dandelion, boing. They searched me. I don't know if they were looking for weeds or weed. But they hauled me off to the police station in handcuffs where they took fingerprints, mug shots. They charged me with criminal mischief for removing vegetation from the park because I had eaten a dandelion. Could face a year in jail if convicted. And then they made a terrible blunder. After issuing me a desk appearance ticket that I had to go to court, they let me go. Very bad. I went home and called every TV station, newspaper, radio station, wire service I could find in the phone book. Next morning on the way to the newsstand, 5 cops came after me. They all wanted my autograph. I was on page 1 of the Chicago Sun-Times, page 2 of the New York Daily News. The BBC interviewed me from London. The coal miners' strike is in its 5th week, and in New York City, they arrested the wild men of Central Park for eating a dandelion. When they took me to, I got on CBS Evening News, I got on Letterman, I got on MTV. When they took me to court, I served Wild Man's 5-borough salad on the steps of the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse to reporters and passersby, and the press ate that one up too. After which Mayor Koch ordered Commissioner Stern to turn over a new leaf, so to speak. He negotiated with me, dropped the charges, and hired me to lead the same nature tours I was leading when I was arrested. And when we shook hands, we made all the media again, because suddenly we were friends instead of enemies. I worked as a parks naturalist for the next 4 years, teaching exactly the same thing I was teaching when they arrested me. When the administration changed, I left and went back to freelance work, which I've been doing ever since. And getting arrested for eating a dandelion was definitely the second best thing that ever happened to me in Central Park. Okay. What was the first best thing? 11 years ago, I was leading a singles tour in Central Park, and there was a beautiful single woman who loved nature as much as I do. We started dating. First we went to the Galapagos Islands, then we went to Antarctica, and 7 years ago, we got married, and 5 years ago, we had a daughter. Her name is Violet, and she goes on my nature walks also. You had mentioned Stone Barns. I'm doing a tour on Sunday on the grounds of Stone Barns, and my daughter Violet will be with us. That was even better than being